wait, hold on. I have to hit accept. I was ready. Oh, you got the bow tie. Hey,
huh? Oh, you. And I'm over here looking raggedy. He came ready. Look.
I didn't know what to expect. So, like, just going with the normal, usual.
Oh,
that's your usual? Wait.
He's dressed to impress. I love it. Mazid, welcome.
Hi. Welcome, and thanks for having me on the channel.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm Champagne. This is Lindsay. She's amazing.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
You guys should follow each other. She does all kinds of deviously delicious cocktails.
Nice.
All right. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Mazid, why I bring you on here. Because first glance, when I go to your Instagram page, I see like 4 cocktails. But you know what you're doing, though. So tell me about yourself.
Well, I started bartending a little over a decade ago. Started as a, server, bartending, just loving the craft of making delicious cocktails. It started more from, we used to throw a lot of parties back in the day. I was a DJ too. Started DJing at the age of 14. And just to bring more flavor, like The Last Word. There's one more. Death in the Afternoon came from his book. And Hemingway Daiquiri. There's literally a bar in Paris that's that have a bar tool that's like where he used to sit, and they have a plaque in front of it that says Hemingway used to sit here. And that bar is famous for making their Hemingway daiquiris. It's on my bucket list. I want to visit that bar. It's I think it's in Ritz, Paris. They have a Hemingway bar. The bar is called Hemingway Bar.
Okay, so we'll have to add it out. Lindsay, I know you sound like you was trying to jump in.
No, I'm listening. I was just making comments while he was talking.
You guys trying. It's a weird 3-way. It's okay if it's a 3-way.
It's a fun 3-way.
I mean, and it's 2 girls and a guy. That's like the perfect 3-way anyway. I wanted to just pick your brain a little bit, like, your favorite. I want to know your favorite cocktail to like sip on, and then your favorite cocktail to make people. It doesn't have to necessarily be like a classic. It could be something that you thought.
Right. So something that I would like to sip on would vary from day to day. The temperature, the weather outside, what I'm in the mood for, what kind of food I had before, what kind of food I'm about to have later on. So I do not have a specific go-to drink. It's like wine. You paired.
He what is that? He can do whatever. I forgot the word. I'm gonna remember it though.
But I would say like today it's a little cold, and I saw her drinking Campari. I would probably make a Boulevardier or a Negroni to go with this weather. But my most favorite drink to make of all time. A lot of bartenders, they don't want to make this drink. They don't know how to make this drink. Also, a lot of times when I go to a bar and order this drink, and if they can make me a perfect of this drink, I know, okay, you are a great bartender. It's called a Ramos Gin Fizz.
Yep. Oh my gosh!
Yep. I
knew you was gonna say that shit.
That's maybe it's because of where I started. Like the bar that I started at, it was on the menu, so people are gonna order it because it's on the menu. But then Saturdays, we're cross building, so we're putting 6-7 cocktails in front of us at a time,
and you get one.
4 of them could be 4 of them could be a gin fizz,
what did I do?
Manhattan. And so I like them. Anything with an egg white, honestly, I'm running.
I love egg whites. Yes. I go to a lot of craft bars, and they're like, "Oh, we don't believe in using egg whites." I'm like, "Why not?" They're like, "Well, we can do without it." I'm like, "No, you cannot. You cannot give me a sour drink without an egg white. That's just redundant. Like, why am I ordering a sour? And it's gonna be like a margarita. No egg whites. Come on."
So for people who don't understand the Ramos Gin Fizz, can y'all talk about why is this like oh my goodness, why is this like something that bartenders are kind of afraid to attack?
It's a 7-minute cocktail. Okay. It's a 7-minute cocktail with a wet shake and a dry shake.
Ooh.
So
So
imagine
are you counting your shakes? Are you counting like 3 minutes with a drop?
away from the gas. But normally when people with one hand, they go like this. So that's why a lot of people, like, it just doesn't look professional, for one. But then it goes back to that rhythm in your shake. I can't get the same rhythm with one hand than if I'm going like this.
This is what we're shaking right here?
Yeah, there we go. I can bust out my, hold on. I think I can grab my shaker.
Yeah. Let's get some shaking action. Teach me the ways.
And if you know, like, for me, if I watch, like, the stuff when I'm by the bar, like, I will competition. That first day, the way that I shook that cocktail, if you listen to my rhythm, it's completely different than my rhythm on Friday. Because one is egg white and aquafaba, and then one isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what you got, Mazid. Let's see that shake, baby.
Oh no, I was just saying this. Yeah, just tap it tight.
Yeah.
And I usually like using a weighted shaker.
Yep.
Because there's a little bit of weight to it instead of a regular tin shaker or even a glass in a shaker. I'm not a very big fan of it because I have broken 3 glasses while tapping it.
Yeah.
Tap it too hard, boom. But yeah.
See, I've never had. Let me not say it because I'm gonna jinx myself.
Yeah.
But the breaking of the shaker, like, while trying to take it apart or while slamming it, that I had trying to do a one hand with the glass shakers, and that bitch flew out my hand. It never hit it. It always went behind the bar because I'm shaking in the right direction.
Or
I got white in my hair in the past.
One of these places I used to work, so this is my bar area. Let's say this is my service bar. Right above me is like the glasses you hang for martinis and whatnot. And martini glass, other glasses are hanging on from top. So I got so into shaking, 2 shakers. I'm like, Arr! And next thing you know, I smashed into the glass rack above me in the middle of a service. 20 glasses just dropping like bombs, and I'm like, okay, so pause real quick. So let's change out the ice bin. Yeah, I am notoriously famous for like making destructions behind the bar.
Same.
A lot.
I'm clumsy as hell.
Every time they will hear a glass break, one of the owners will come running. Okay, now I'm writing it down. He's just joking though. He'll never charge me for one of those. But he'll be like, okay, I'm writing it down. How many glasses this week so far? I'm like, okay, just a glass, But I understand.
You get
now that I'm
glasses for like $10. Shut up. That's what I was.
Now that I'm trying to save up to open my own restaurant, I kind of get it. I'm like, okay, every single money counts. But when I was younger, none of those actually. I would get mad.
Talk about being in New York. You said you bartended in New York for a bit. How was that atmosphere? I've always was curious. Like, it seems so fast.
So one of my first jobs was at a club. It was in Glow, Long Island, and it was the craziest thing ever. Because there, you're not making cocktails. You're opening beer bottles. You're making maybe martini or so, most rum and cokes, vodka, soda, vodka, Red Bulls. But it's the speed. You have to keep up because every bar will have hundreds of people surrounding you. And
in your face.
Yeah, and for some reason, there was a design flow at the bar that I started, at the bar area that I started. One of the ice bins was reachable. So people will go overboard, grab an ice and throw it at you, trying to get your attention. And here you are getting ice all night long. After a while, you just don't want to, you're not going to serve that person who's going to throw that ice cube at you. But yeah, there was a huge design flow and design flaw. And so that was crazy. And I don't ever want to do that. Also, I worked at a hookah lounge. That was crazy too, because at the same night, you will get people who want to have a fancy drink, like a old fashioned. That hookah lounge was in Astoria, in Steinway Street, not too far from the Waldorf Astoria, where the famous old fashioned was created. So people will come in and like, hey, can I get old fashioned? Or it'll be a whole night long just making margaritas and blue Hawaiians. And I made so much blue Hawaiian during that time that I honestly don't want to make any more of those LITs and blue Hawaiians. I don't want to make it anymore. I'm just kidding. You got to make whatever the customer wants, but.
So you don't have the ingredients?
I do. They just like. Oh, I don't have. Yeah, right. There you go.
So
even at my last job, go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask what made you, because New York is a big market, especially for the cocktail scene. What made you go to OKC?
Well, I came here for school, and I went to Stony Brook in New York. And after I graduated, I came to Oklahoma to do my doctorate here. And
you smart?
no, not at all.
Yeah,
not at all. Not any smarter than the next person. It's just like, when I first moved to Oklahoma 10 years ago, I always thought the moment I'm done with school here, I'm moving back to New York. But I don't want that anymore. It's because, the living expenses, it's so cheaper. Things are, there's more space, there's more room to breathe. And definitely people know me here.
ISIS.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And people know me here on a first name basis. They're like, oh, you're the bartender. Oh, hey, how you doing? Like, I will go to any bar, any restaurant. They're full. They'll open up a space for me. So I'm definitely blessed.
You famous in your city,
right? He's known.
Low, you
like
still follow him. He a celebrity in your city, girl. He famous. You go to all the restaurants.
And I'm about to name drop. Like, y'all know Mazid? We best friends, right? Hook it up.
Oh,
yeah, come to Oklahoma. Come to OKC. Yes, definitely. That. Yeah.
Low Letter says, still bartending in a bar, Mazid?
I am not.
Oh.
I'm not bartending right now. Was that the question?
Yeah, they wanted to know what bar they wanted to show up and show out and support.
No, I'm not working at a bar right now. But if you come to the city, try out Sidecar, go to La Baguette, go to Ovar, go to Whiskey Cake. It's called Whiskey Cake, but they have one of the biggest selection of whiskeys in town. I used to work there actually, and amazing place. But I learned more about craft cocktail in Oklahoma than I was in New York. Because when I was in New York, it was all about that fast pace. I wish I could. At that time, I was doing it more for a side hustle. Then the passion grew more after I came to Oklahoma, and as I got older, I got into wine and all of that stuff. I love wine.
I think you talked about I can't say the word sommelier. Sommelier.
Hey, yeah. Somebody's saying that they work with some people that used to work at Whiskey Cake. Yeah.
Why I can't see the comments no more?
I don't know. What you do?
I don't know. I'm like, because y'all keep talking about stuff I can't see.
And Low Letter said that's in her area. She worked with some people that used to work at a Whiskey Cake and Sidecar. I hope you really worked there, Mazid, because she sounds like she about to go check.
Well, he said he know everybody in the city, so they gonna lie to him anyway, even if he didn't work there.
Yeah, and it's just like, but no, now every time, now and then I would go visit New York. They have definitely one of the best bars in the world. Dead Rabbit, amazing bar. Things they do, I don't even.
Dead Rabbit?
Yeah, that's a new.
Yeah, things they do. Every time they come up with a new menu, they make a comic style. Like it has history behind. There's a story behind it, and it's crazy. Like I have the book right here.
I know. I'm like, ooh, still it. Ooh.
Dead Rabbit. It's
Oh, they extra.
It's
that's like one of the best.
Yeah. Oh,
yes.
They're super extra because like something
wow.
like that.
Cause you bought that?
I bought that. Yeah.
So they said
hold on. They have books. Yeah. Yeah, they
They
have books.
selling.
And this book is the
It's about the
that book
cocktails.
was, yeah, yeah. The
That's
whole book is
the
about the
fact
cocktail
that because it looks
of
like
their.
story and cocktails.
Man, I'm missing a bag because like a book about my
Yeah,
cocktails and make a story, ma'am. Hold on.
yeah, and they have like all kind of characters and whatnot. Like, look at that. Like, they're talking about something about some situation or, yeah, it's an Irish bar. It's an Irish owned bar.
Now that's a bad
Um,
Oh,
one.
that's why they getting. My black
but
about to
Get
get
it back.
get hard doing.
and it's they have a way to get into that bar. It's a um you have to be on a wait list to be able to sit in the bar area. They have a restaurant too, which is easy to get into. But if you want to sit at the bar and have one of their bartenders make you drinks and watch them do all that stuff, you have to be on a list, and like it takes days to get into that list at times.
What? We gotta change our.
And
What are we doing?
they
Girl,
Right?
we
always
black
win one of
can't do stuff like that. We're trying to put people on a wait, and they're gonna be like, all right, bye.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, exactly. But they have the budget, they have that set up so they can do it. But on a regular basis, I suggest keeping it simple because when you're in the dinner service, it's Saturday night, you're at a bar at a restaurant, and your whole restaurant got sad. You gotta time out your stuff. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot be making a 20 minutes cocktail every time because it's 150 people waiting on you to provide them drinks for that evening.
See, that's something I would want to do. Like I would want a bar where the focus is craft cocktails, so it's not gonna come out right away like a regular cocktail. The expectation waiting 20 to 30 minutes to get your cocktail, but it's gonna be like almost like a dessert. It's gonna be real decadent. Don't steal my idea, you guys. It's my
I'm
Actually,
not here in Cleveland because the thing about Cleveland, what I'm realizing is like over the past couple years, people have started to get familiar with cocktails and they think everything is the same. Like, don't come to a cocktail bar and you've been going to dive bars, little rinky dink bars that got roses, lime juice, and sour mix on the gun. And they ain't using egg whites, they ain't using fresh ingredients or nothing. And then don't come to my bar where I'm using fresh shit and expect to have your drink in 30 seconds. No, ma'am.
Yeah.
No. Then they get the drink and they taste it and then they feel stupid. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I thought you forgot about it. Every time. Every
that happens. That happens every so quite often. Like when I first moved to Oklahoma, this place was dead. It's cowboy country, not a whole lot of bars, not a whole lot of craft bars or anything like that. Over the last 5 years, the situation has the whole town had boomed. There's the Uptown District is full of craft cocktail bars. People know about craft cocktails. Before it's all about whiskey and water. Not even they didn't even know their right whiskey. It's about Kentucky, yeah, some. But now over the last 5-6 years, a lot of good restaurants and cocktail bars have opened up in here. It's amazing. It's the transformation here. It's so good to be a part of.
Because no one really ever says, "Hey, where are you trying to go?" Oklahoma. So that's
no.
Because Lo makes jokes all the time, like, "Oh, it's just me and the cows out here and a lot of white people."
so hi, but we're trying to pick up a bit more. So it sounds like OKC's doing it too.
What for you out there as a person of color? Is the diversity like? I mean, obviously it's not on New York level, but is it like talking about where it's just cows and white people?
Actually, in the last 10 years, I did not feel a whole lot of that because they were pretty welcoming. These are one of the most loveliest people you'll ever see. Yes, there is a stereotype that Oklahoma, but no, actually I was shocked the amount of love and acceptance I got here. It's amazing. Every now and then you get pulled over. I think that's what cops do, but no. But for the most part, no. It's very welcoming, and it's a very diverse state. There's a lot of heart, and people of Oklahoma has a lot of heart, and there's times I have seen I've heard or got a comment by somebody, oh, blah blah blah, etc. and etc. I think that's everywhere, but for the most part, no, it's a very diverse state, and it's on the up and rise. The living expenses and all of that just makes sense to be here right now. You're right by Dallas, 2.5 hours from Dallas.
Dallas, Texas?
Yep.
Dallas, Texas.
I go to school. I do not know geography. So wait, let's come. Is Oregon next to Oklahoma? Like Portland? Is that near?
No, Portland is more.
I just
No,
embarrassed.
Kansas.
Fuck.
That was funny. You can come back.
I've heard geography on.
I hate geography.
All damn day.
Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, they're like all in the same location.
I'll verify that later, Mazid.
You do it.
Don't play with him because he got his, what you say, your doctorate?
15 degrees.
Yeah, don't play with him. He can tell you every city in the United States because he's smart.
Not really.
So, have you seen that? Mazid, me and you talked about this. Lindsey, have you seen this on Netflix called Midnight Asia?
Mm-mm.
Oh my goodness.
You gotta watch it.
Talk about Midnight Asia. You it's interesting because I told you, like, I'm trying to go global. Like, I would love to go bartend in Korea or Thailand for a year. But one of the ones we watched was the one in, I think it was Mumbai,
India. Yeah.
and they had this cold bartender. Do you remember her name?
I do not.
Me neither. I gotta look it up. But she's out there, and
nice.
They talk a lot in Midnight Asia. They talk about the different types of bartending. So in each country, we were in Korea, we were in the Philippines, we were in, like I said, Mumbai. Each country talked about their bartending differences and how, just the nightlife. So my question in Bangladesh, you bartended in Bangladesh for a bit, right? For you? Or
I
not?
did not know.
No.
Bangladesh alcohol is illegal. You get served. I'm just kidding. No, I did not bartend in Bangladesh. I was young. I was very young when I was there, so the whole alcohol scene was not. But
where was the first place out, and what's the first country you were bartending in?
Actually, I bartended in some private parties back in Bangladesh, but that was not at a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
The first place is that the first official bartending job I had was in New York.
Okay. How did you find yourself in France then?
Huh?
How did you find yourself in France? I thought you bartended in France, or was it England?
No, I was working at a French restaurant here in Oklahoma.
He said he want to go to a bar in France. Say she ain't even paying attention.
I heard
I did say that. I did say that. I am fascinated with friends. Like,
see, next time come live with me because she don't know where nothing is.
Let me ask you ladies this question though, since we kind of know about cocktails. What do you think was the first ever cocktail made? Like first ever cocktail, ever?
Well, it's not the
old fashioned before.
Because I would
old fashioned.
They didn't really have a lot of mixers, so initially they just did like water or soda water in a liquor, because they really didn't have mixers back then. They have ice.
Yeah, so it's actually not old fashioned. It's not Sazerac. It's actually a mojito.
I was gonna say margarita. I know it was one of the clear liquors.
1500s back in Cuba, the sugarcane plantations, the farmers who used to work there, rum and that weather is not a good mix. So what they started doing is they started adding some sugar and lime and mint to rum to make it a pleasant drink, to cut off some of the heat that they were working in. And that's when, that's one of the first ever cocktails ever made. And it came to America via the pirates who used to go loot around Cuba. They found rum and they saw how they use rum, and
he froze.
I mean, I would freeze too. Mojitos, motherfucker, like that blew my mind.
So Pirates is just
Yeah,
stealing people's shit and stealing cocktail recipes.
yeah, yeah. It's thanks to the
You cut
Pirates, and they brought it.
Can you actually repeat what you just said? Because you had froze for a minute. So
Okay.
after
So
the Pirates.
so the Pirates, when they went looting in Cuba, uh, they found rum, and they found out how the farmers in Cuba was using rum to make mojitos. So they brought that over to San Francisco, thanks to the Bay Area, which was abundant with mint and limes, and they started making mojitos down there. Actually, it is not just my word. If you read this book, it's called "Drinking the Devil's Acre."
Was Pirates white? Because that like the stealing the whole mojito recipe is given very cultural appropriation. Are pirates all that's something I gotta look up. Are all pirates?
Let's just say they were.
They was white. They was white, wasn't they? They was white.
I think some were not, though. I don't think all pirates were white.
I bet you the ones that sold the mojito and the rum from the Cubans was probably white.
If you go back into world history, because white people are relatively new in stealing and everything, you have a lot of cultures like I want to say the Mongols.
I would say these pirates, 1500s. I would say Spanish pirates, sailors.
You said what? You said white people is relatively new at stealing stuff.
Yeah, they're really new at it.
Girl, they stole people. They stole us. What you mean?
But that was the 1800s. That's pretty young. If you go further back into like the 14, the 13s, the 11.
Like when Christopher Columbus brought his ass over here and stole
even before that, because but even before that, you had a lot of people from like in Asia, like I said, the Mongols, where they were trying to cultivate it and they were moving out and conquering parts of it, which is why you'll see places like Kazakhstan, Tajikistan is part of Asia versus it really should be a part of Russia.
Nope, that's not stealing because you going out, you ready to fight.
That's still
no, because if I beat you up, I get to take your stuff. That's street code. Everybody know that.
That's what the white people did.
No, they didn't. They just was stealing and intimidating people. It's a difference.
Oh my God. Before we got
right.
Culture.
I'm sorry. This is what I do when I get on her lives. I go.
Sorry, Mazid. Go ahead. So we're out here. We're stealing mojitos. We're taking that to the United States. We're drinking.
San Francisco at that time, yeah.
Because it wasn't the United States just yet. You are right about that. There was a whole bunch of shit going on. So question, this came up in my bartender group for both of you guys. Your mojitos, do you muddle your mint or do you slap or throw in? Go.
Slap and muddle.
Slap. Well, you gotta slap the mint first, because that enables the oil, the essential oil in the mint to come out. And then you definitely muddle, and you again shake the world out of it. Double strain. I would double strain because I don't like to get that. You're sipping on a straw, and then that one mint leaf goes in the middle of the straw, and just, I don't like that. Or like, you get green stuff all over your teeth. Think about it. You're at a fancy restaurant and you ordered a mojito. So I would double strain, but I will muddle, and I will shake vigorously. Like after I'm done shaking it, the drink almost looks green because all the colors and the flavors. And then, of course, in the end, you slap the mint again for garnish with a little bit of dusted sugar powder, bakery sugar.
Lindsay, do you agree? Is that how you will make your mojito?
I leave the mint in there just because I found with guest preferences they like.
And be very specific, because bartending is like chemistry.
Yep.
You have to come with the right amount every time. That's why for an old fashioned, I highly, or just not only me, if you talk to a lot of big time I'm not a big time bartender at all. If you talk to a lot of big time bartenders, they will do syrup instead of muddling a sugar cube.
Sugar either.
It's not consistent, because sometimes you dash in a little bit of water. You have to make the same drink every single time.
And
so
the same size.
Yeah, Yeah. So I like even like for a mojito, I would do like a brown sugar syrup or maybe a demerara sugar. Um, I like what she said. It's the only chemistry class I've passed. Yeah, I'm right. Like
Same.
I'm with you.
Who said that? Because I
Like I like.
Low lettuce.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah. It's
a
you
whiskey.
have to be very.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, you have to be very articulate about how much you're using, and syrup is the way.
Syrup is the way.
Syrup is the way.
I'm gonna dabble in some syrups. I want to do some more complex syrups and oleos. Um, and I
I'll
want
make
to do.
oleo saccharum this week. I can FaceTime you and we can make it together.
Okay, I can take it and then be impressed by what you do.
I got my recipe from Lauren Paler in DC. She's my mentor for the competition, and that's like that's her ingredient. Like, you know how I love egg white. I put an egg white in anything.
Mm-hmm.
Oleo in it. She gonna throw some oleo in there. So I was like, yeah, I need that recipe, and I'm gonna be using it, girl.
Yes, I know you're not cocktailing right now, Mazid. But what's in the future for you? You said you're trying to do a bar. You want to do bar, not trying. You are going to do a bar because we're going to speak.
Yes. So my plan is I want to open a bistro, like a French bistro bar, combination, like little, almost like tapas style food, shareable plates, craft cocktails, wine, champagne, stuff like that.
You gonna hire me?
I definitely will if you're ready to move to Oklahoma.
Lo, you got some room for me, baby? I'm coming, girl.
Yeah. It's again, like I'm just waiting for this whole whatever. I think there's a pandemic going around. I don't know. I don't keep up with that anymore. So like,
hey, you know,
whenever that thing passes, yeah, that would be my next move.
what is who are some of the people you follow, like on bartending? Who are some people you look up to?
I don't have a name per se, but on YouTube, if you follow Educated Bartender, Educated Barfly, Educated Barfly, that dude, he is a genius. He makes all the cocktails very simple. He's always about the history too. He will tell you about the history. So just go watch Educated Barfly on YouTube. A lot to learn from. And then there is definitely, Google. Just read a lot of books. I would go to the bookstore and buy every cocktail book they have. There's Jim Meehan's Bar Manual, Drinking with David Aker. There's another one. This one right here.
I'm terrible. I have a whole library on my phone.
Jim Meehan, PDT. These are real.
I have that on my phone.
I like
and like
I like the physical.
It has like recipes and like it talks about. Also, try to learn the different liqueurs. Funny thing is, all the liqueurs in the world comes from France.
Nah.
Again, my hands, my name a liqueur. The one that you're drinking right now, Campari. It's Italian. Huh?
Midori's a liqueur. That's what Japan is.
Yeah, I'm talking about like all the best liqueurs, Cointreau, like they are not a cocktail. French are not like.
Shots fired at Italian liqueurs. The good ones come from France.
The good one comes from France. Hey, the Italians, they made food, but it's the French who made it better. That's how the saying is.
That's because you really want to go work in that French restaurant. I think that's why you're writing for France really hard right now.
Yeah, like they've been really inspiring. And absinthe. Look at absinthe, Pernod. If you never had a pastis, try a Pernod. If you like licorice stuff, it is amazing. Sidecar, Harry's Sidecar Bar. It's in Paris. The sidecar drink came from Paris, even though it's one of the classification of cocktail. But they
Right
have
where your heart is. Why you not in France? You what? That's where your heart. You want to open up a French bistro. You brought France up numerous times, and this kind like what has stopped you from? I mean, I know it's probably more expensive.
it's the
But
well, it's the haute. It's what in France called the haute couture. That is, haute couture means the symbol of fashion or the highest class of fashion. And French, there's just so much finesse to it. It is just good. Like once you like you cannot talk about a fine dining or fine craft cocktails without the French. Like they are instrumental behind it.
we pretty raw with the cocktails over here in America.
He was like,
the old fashioned.
Old fashioned, cool. Then the it's old fashioned. In order to compete with old fashioned, they came up with Sazerac. Where did Sazerac came from?
See, I don't like that. They lost me.
The French Quarter in New Orleans.
I'm doing it.
We have the Manhattan. To come up with something that goes with the Manhattan. A French twist to it was the Voucouré. It came from the French Quarters in New Orleans. That's a very Voucouré is something I will probably sip on every day.
Yeah, that's my number one, to be honest. So you got me on that one, but that's only one cocktail though for the French.
French 75.
It's the French Quarter in New Orleans. So technically,
the American.
technically Creole.
You're right. Technically, you're right. Yeah.
So
what else?
I've never thought I'd be going hard for America ever in my life.
You're not the only one.
But now today she is Team USA.
You're not the only one. Like when even my close friends, they're like, dude, why are you so into the French? You have not worked at that place in over a year now. Can you stop selling the French? I'm like, no, it's just so good. It's so it's just their passion for food and drinks. And they're the best. Did you ever go out drinking with a French guy or a French lady?
Yes, I have.
They can outdrink everybody in the world, and they don't get drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Big or small doesn't matter.
And he was
they know how to drink.
Mm-hmm. He was like this big.
Because they've been drinking since they was 12 at the dinner table with their mama, sipping on wine. That's why they got it.
Italian too, though. Italians start drinking.
Friends.
Every spaghetti, you drinking wine.
I feel like every country but us. Like everybody got a leg up. That's why we weak on the drinking side.
That's why we pass out after like 3 drinks.
I did a report where most of your countries, they start drinking at 15 and 16, but they have less issues with alcoholism versus the United States.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they make it such a big deal about drinking, but our alcoholism rate is pretty high.
Yeah, because if I start at 15, by 25, like I'm kind of over it.
You like what?
And by 30, it's just like, oh, okay, I'm done now. My liver's probably destroyed. I've been drinking for 15.
I'm at that point right now.
Our time. Oh, I have to ask him. I call it my last supper question because we got 9 minutes in. This has been amazing, you guys. First of all, last supper question. Name 5 people, if you can, that you would want to serve one of your perfect cocktails to. I stole this from Brown and Balance.
Dead or alive?
I mean,
that wasn't the question.
If it's alive, not real, you could sell it to that dead rabbit in that comic book. I'm not going to judge you.
Definitely Ernest Hemingway, the biggest drunk in history. J.J.R. Tolkien.
Really?
I'm a big Tolkien fan.
Lord of the Rings.
I'm a Lord of the Rings fan. Yeah, I don't want to take my shirt off, but I have a Lord of the Rings tattoo right here.
Shut up.
I have a huge tattoo right here, a Lord of the Rings tattoo. Yeah. One person. Winston Churchill.
Really?
Winston Churchill. He was a famous drunk too. Like he He used to wake up and start drinking, but then he would just drink scotch and whiskey. Winston Churchill, I would serve to.
2 more.
There's so many famous people in history that I definitely want to shake hands and give a drink to.
This makes you think on your feet.
I know.
I'm
And
about to
am I losing time?
Yeah, you're losing time.
Winston Churchill. Also,
Got 20 seconds.
JFK.
Okay.
Nikolai Tesla.
Really? You have some. I like.
Oh, no. Let me take the last one down. Albert Einstein.
I don't know. I started writing already.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you waiting on me? Look, I'm like, you waiting on me?
I thought he was going to take back that Nikolai Tesla. Who would you want to have Nikolai?
Einstein. Albert Einstein.
Albert Einstein.
All right. No friends or family. He's just serving a whole bunch of dead people. I love it, Mazid. Love it. Go ahead, Lindsey.
He's just like one of the greatest minds of our times, you know?
You're right about that. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
I had to drink with my great grandma because when we was kids, she used to put her liquor in the coffee mug and tell us it was coffee. And I just want to have a drink with her. I wish she was still alive so I could be like, sis, we know what's up. We all grown now. You don't have to put it in a coffee mug. You could put it in a regular glass.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really about to probably give you my answers from my feature because that's where I'm at. I really want to drink with Jay-Z. Like that. I want to drink with Jay-Z.
Right.
Like so bad. If I ever met him, dude, can we have a drink? It could be Douce, but can we have a motherfucking drink? I'm taking Josh off the list because we about to be able to drink with him in March.
Yeah.
So you don't get the spot no more. Who else? I low key wanted to, like, if I could have ever done it, party with Whitney and Bobby. I ain't about to do none of this. But I feel like just turning up with them would have been cool. Maybe I would be the only one drinking and they'd be partaking in some other stuff. I'm sorry, Whitney. I love you. I don't mean to do this, but like, yeah, I love you, girl. But I want to party with them. Where am I? That's what, 3?
Yeah. Well, no. You got your grandma. Well, yeah, because you said Josh isn't on there.
Yeah, I gotta take Josh off because that's already about to happen. So you don't get a spot on this. About to happen. Who else though?
And I'm not gonna lie, like Beyonce and Whitney, they were on my list.
See, I ain't really.
Okay.
I know I said Beyonce in the feature, but I don't, because if I drink with Jay-Z, 9 times out of 10 she might be there. You feel me? Like,
She might be a bonus.
But that's her opportunity to turn that into a 3-way. It's okay if it's in a 3.
2 girls and a guy. Who else? Honestly, Jackie Summers. Like, I keep getting closer and closer to Jackie.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to meet that man. And that Sorrel is so motherfucking good. That I'm not one to sip on liqueurs, but I can sip on that. And Fawn Weaver. But I mean, again, I could kind of cheat and be like, Jackie, just bring Fawn. So I guess another person. I don't know. No, let me just leave her at 5 because this is hard.
Got your 5.
This is hard.
Thank you, Lindsey. Mazid, tell us about what people can do if they want to see what you're doing, how they get in touch with you. Plug your shit. Go.
All right. Just follow me at 405 Lifestyle Dash and DM me on Instagram if you have any questions with bartending, anything that you may like, something that's even like, if you're not having a good day and you need somebody to pray for you, just, hit me up and, or bar questions, service industry questions, or you just want to come say hello. 405 Lifestyle Dash. Follow me there.
See, and Lo should be following you. Y'all can maybe link up in OKC, go out and talk.
I definitely will.
Talk cocktails.
We making friends and stuff. This is a beautiful thing.
I know, right? We about to go worldwide.
Huh?
We about to go worldwide. I had met a man. He was from Bangladesh. I used to sell a lot of stuff. And he I I didn't really know him, but he like just really just started talking to me real hard. You know, he has a really thick accent, and he had the red hair. You know how they use the dye. Is that dye that they're using to change the red, or is that natural?
It's a natural dye. It's called mehendi. So it's like something that, yeah, it's a natural thing. It's like almost like a mint leaf, that kind of texture to it. You make a paste out of it and put on your beard. I don't know why you want to do that, but they do it. Actually, no, it's more religious. There's a little bit of religion behind it that I'm not gonna get into it. But
Okay.
excuse me, it's kind of holy to be doing that.
Ah, okay. Because, but every time he would talk to me, he would just talk to me about how men were evil, that women are blessed. You know, men start the wars and everything. I don't know if he was trying to shoot a shot at me.
Yeah. Just randomly come into your inbox like, hey, fuck all men.
Public. We went to lunch. We went out to lunch, and he told me he was married, and this guy, he looked like he was in his 60s too. So I was just like, how the fuck did I get myself into this situation?
Girl, that's probably your sugar daddy opportunity. What's his name? Where he at?
Because he was like, let me get your phone number. We can get in touch. You know, I have people in Bangladesh. You can import stuff from, you know, and like, I just didn't know. I didn't feel comfortable. You don't know.
Got food out. You trying to go around the world and you missing your opportunity.
But that was my first experience with someone from Bangladesh. So you're my second.
That is such a surprising thing, because I would not hear people that even know the country. They're like, oh, where is that country? I'm like, it's right by India. We used to be Pakistan at some point.
And this might be racist, so I don't think it is, but it might be. And I don't know if it's Bangladesh. Is Bangladesh the area, is the country that gets hit with, like, they're underwater a lot, so they get hit with a lot of tsunamis? No,
it's not that.
There's a country out there.
It's Maldives that gets hit by tsunami and all that. Right now they're getting a high tide and all of that. But most of the tsunamis goes towards Japan.
Maybe it's not
like if it's a huge.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm like, if it's a huge tsunami, it's gonna probably affect every coastal area.
Is it?
But
it's this one where they're below water, and like every maybe monsoon season, they like a lot of people die there in this country.
Oh, okay. Yes, it is Bangladesh too. It's not tsunami. It's just coastal flooding.
Mm-hmm.
Bangladesh is like 60% water, 40% land. So it's called the land of river. So what will happen during the monsoon? The flood will just take over the. You can call it island. They have a name for it. I don't know the exact translation, but those coastal areas will go underwater. Yes, and they will have to move, and then come dry season, new islands will pop up, and like, you know, it's kind of tough. Like, you know, because every now and then you have to move, and you get flooded constantly. There are people who've lived in a piece of land for, let's say, 50, 60 years, and one monsoon, like, you know, the land got taken away by the flood. But that happens a lot in Bangladesh, yes. So.
Okay, I was watching some documentary, and like they were covering each season. It was just like Bangladesh, and I'm like, oh, poor people, Bangladesh can't catch a break.
Yeah, that's why the capital is highly populated. It's like one of the most populated cities in the world. Like, there's more people living in per square block or meter something, per square something in the capital of Bangladesh, that's Dhaka, than in any other part of the world. Not even in Mexico City, not even in Tokyo, Seoul, New York City. Like, it is so populated. You can almost never see the sky.
Wow. See, we learned something new. We learned about geography. We learned about Ramos' Gin Fizz. We learned that Mazid is the motherfucking man in OKC. We learned so much today. So you guys, take a moment. Follow Mr. Mazid at 405. I'm sorry, 405. Lifestyle.
Right.
My girl, Lindsey, Cleveland Bourbon Girl.
You should know my handle by now, girl. Stop.
I just know your name. Can I get points for just knowing your name and what you look like in the face?
I swear.
No, don't say Cleveland bourbon. Oh, I said it right. Cleveland bourbon. I said it right.
But you were saying it with hesitation, like
Everything with hesitation. I am normally an unsure woman.
It's a
you guys.
Campari too.
And 405
Go Bengals.
lifestyle underscore. All right, we're good.
There we go.
Thank
maybe
you guys for joining.
all right. Look that Campari.
Thank you so much, Mazid. Thank you so much, Lindsey. Please come back. Check us out next Monday where we talk to more bartenders from all over the world. Thank you, everybody. Be safe, be sound, be loved. Good night.
Night. Take care.